What's up, guys? I'm Tyjer Morris. I play Division III football and lacrosse at Vernon University, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of Division III athletics. I kind of ran a little poll on Instagram to ask about how you guys feel about small universities, Division IIIs, both from an athlete's perspective and as a student's perspective. And I'm just kind of going to go over the answers that I got over Instagram and Twitter and other social media platforms, and just kind of incorporate my own personal opinions and things that happened throughout my experience. From asking on Instagram, I got a couple of different responses. I got responses that I kind of envisioned getting, I kind of assumed I was going to get, and then I also got some different perspectives that were interesting and kind of thought-provoking. So majority of the answers that I got were the community environment. So when I was going through my Division III process, my recruiting process, I kind of mentioned it in my last video. I'll include it if you guys didn't see that. But the big thing that kind of attracted me to D3 was the community environment, the small classroom settings, getting to know your professors on a first name basis, and just kind of not being a number in a sense. I know me personally, I haven't had any class sizes over 25. I think 25 is probably the most I've had in a class so far, and I'm entering my junior year next semester. The class sizes at the Division III level / small university, college university level, in my opinion, just cannot be compared to the Division I setting or some of the Division II settings where you're having labs or you're having lectures with upwards of 150 kids in your class. I kind of feel like it's almost near impossible to get a relationship with your professor and kind of be successful in school. I shouldn't say be successful. For me personally, it was hard for me to find success in a classroom setting where I'm kind of a number and I have classmates all over the place. I have class sizes, like I said, upwards of 150 kids. Me personally, I cannot focus in that setting, and that's not a classroom setting where I feel as if I could thrive. In regards to athletics, it's cool knowing that some of your dearest friends are at all your games. Although it would be cool to have, the big college football game day experience that some of these big universities get, but seeing your family and seeing your closest friends in the stands, just knowing that you have that community aspect and knowing that kind of small towns and small college towns just kind of come together and embrace you athletically. And then as far as academics, like I said, the class sizes I feel as if cannot be compared or next to none. So another answer that I got pretty frequently was Division III provided athletes with another opportunity to play the sport that they love. It was really nice to see this because from my personal experience, I've seen a lot of athletes that could have been very successful at the Division III level, could have had an opportunity to go to college, could have had an opportunity to just proceed in that next phase of life, but they kind of took the opportunity for granted. As I mentioned in the last video, a lot of kids, when they hear Division III, it just kind of it stereotypically carries a negative connotation, and for that reason, a lot of athletes and student athletes just kind of avoid considering going into Division III level. And from running this poll, it was nice to see that a lot of athletes took this opportunity to proceed and play the sport they love for the next 4 years. They took the opportunity to gain an education, just kind of acquire those tools that they felt were necessary to proceed in the next life out of, following college and entering the workforce and entering adulthood. So I would say a big pro for Division III is giving you the opportunity to play the sport that you love. If you're not, like I said, if you're not the big Division I athlete, you're not the big Division II athlete, Division III gives you the opportunity to play the sport that you want to play the sport you grew up playing, while also gaining the education that you want to receive, and just also giving you the opportunity to proceed with life. Through taking in personal opinion, personal experience, and then also running the polls and asking friends and peers, I would say the pros of Division III are the opportunity to be at the next level, the family environment that comes within campus, the small classroom settings, the opportunity to proceed in schooling and getting your degree and gaining that further education, and just going through a life experience that you may not have the opportunity to do otherwise. Now onto the cons of Division III. So I am a huge D3 advocate. I love every moment of my D3 experience, but just like all things in life, there are good things, there are bad things. So through my personal experience first, the Division III level, as I mentioned throughout all these videos, the connotation that carries Division III athletics. Sometimes kids from different divisions, Division I, Division II, they kind of slight the work that we do. You see on social media all the time. They just kind of assume that we're wake up, go to class, and just show up to the games whenever the games are there. We don't get any scholarships, and we put in the same amount of work as other divisions. Sometimes we put in more work than other divisions, and we don't really receive that same reward as other divisions do. I know that not every Division I athlete is on scholarships, obviously, but the fact that they have the opportunity to earn the scholarships based off of performance, based off of work ethic, and at the Division III level, we simply don't have the opportunity. It kind of sucks. Also, I would say it's a pro that everybody knows who you are, but it's also a con that everybody knows who you are. So there's typically a target on your back. You can't really get away with as much as you would get away with at other places where people maybe not recognize you, maybe they don't really know what you're up to every moment of the day. But at the Division III level, everybody knows everybody knows what you're doing, everybody knows what's going on, so you don't really have that private life that you may have at other divisions. You don't really have that opportunity to get away from the sport or get away from the school, because like I said, it's such a small environment that everybody knows what's going on at all times. I would say another con would be the game day experience. So there are games where we have big crowds, a big turn up, but there also are games where you kind of look out and you're like, wow, I kind of wish we had more people. I kind of wish we had more of a game day experience. I kind of wish the crowd was more in our favor today. But that just comes with the size and the nature of the division. So I would say, yes, game day experience, it is kind of negative at certain schools. Some schools I've seen go absolutely crazy. My school, certain games went absolutely crazy. So it kind of goes off of who you're playing, what the weather's like, kind of just what the atmosphere of your school is in general. But overall, I would say one negative part of Division III is the game day experience, the crowd experience, and the just environment. Another answer that I got in the replies, I love this answer, I completely agree with this answer. We do not get the gear that they get at Division I. So if you see me on campus, I'm pretty much decked out in Mount Vernon stuff. Ironically, I'm not decked out in it today. This is Westchester. Don't tell anybody from Mount Vernon. But we don't get the gear that the Division I's get. We don't get the shoes. We don't get the travel suits. We don't get the bags. We don't get the shirts, etc. Some programs they do. The big time programs that I've heard of in Division III, they maybe get a couple of t-shirts, a couple of hoodies. But as far as like the whole, a different travel suit each game or different shoes at each game, we don't really get that. At my school personally, we don't get things for free. We can order things from team stores at a discounted price, but as far as just handing out gear, we don't get it. We don't just show up and like, okay, coach, let me get these cleats, let me get this bat, I want to hoop in these shoes. That's not really a thing at Division III, at least from the ones that I've talked to, the ones that I've been around. If your Division III is different, or you know a Division III that's different, inform me. Another con of D3 sports would be, I'd say, transportation and just overall funding. So it's not as funded as other divisions, so it's kind of why the athletes don't get all the gear that they get. The athletes can't get the scholarships. But also when it comes to game days and travel expenses, we don't really have as much to work with. So me personally, my freshman year, we took a trip to Maine. Instead of getting on a plane as most Division I's probably would have done, we were on a 12-hour bus ride. So we had about 60 guys on 2 buses traveling 11 hours one way and then having to come back. So just those transportations, those long bus rides, crammed together on the bus, eating soggy subs after games. We don't really have the whole shebang when it comes to traveling and it comes to expenses. So I would say it's definitely a con to D3 sports. As I mentioned, for a pro, there are very good friendships that come out of D3, kind of just because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all in this together. You know, we're all out here busting our tails, working our hardest, and we're not getting any scholarships out of it. You know that we're really here because we care. We're here because it's something that we love and something that we hold dearly to our heart, something that we cherish. So when you go on these long road trips and you're crammed together and you're eating food that maybe you guys don't necessarily like together, it's just another moment that kind of brings you together. The struggle brings you together. You're like, okay, we're in this together. I trust you with my life. I love you like a family member, and this is a friendship that I know is going to last forever. Ultimately, Division III, just like anything else, has its pros, has its cons. Me personally, I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't do anything differently if I could. and I highly recommend it, and I would advise anyone to go to Division III if there is opportunity for them, and if it's something that they're considering. But let me know if there's anything that I missed. Follow the page on Instagram and on Twitter at D3Perspective, and whenever I have interactive things like this, just please answer, give me some insight, give me some alternative ideas, because I'm just one person. I don't want to speak for everybody else when I don't include the ideas of everyone else. But thank you for following, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy the video.